Hey guys, you're watching Boondocking with Dennis. We are at Bridgepoint Landing Apartments in Portland, Texas. Right in the back of Portland, Texas. It's an awesome day. And the last time I lived indoors, I lived right here. This is the place that contributed to me wanting to go live in my truck and taking that step. One of the things I did like about living here, there's farmers' fields right over that fence, and the crop dusters would come and just barely clear those trees. That was always a treat when you got to see them. Right there, number 303 was my assigned parking spot, and that's where I lived. A two-story, 2-bathroom, 3-bedroom rental. That's where I lived when Hurricane Harvey hit. We received no damage, except this carport was a twisted mess, but not even a broken window. And of all the places I've lived in my life, and I've lived in a lot, I'm going to say, I'd have to write them down. Somewhere in the vicinity of 35, 40 different places. This was my worst experience here. Air conditioning going out. They would cut a hole in the living room ceiling, come home from work, and everything they cut out would just be on the floor. Everything you owned would be covered in dust. And it was just, I lived here for 2 years, and it was just non-stop with the repairs that couldn't be made. I had loud neighbors, but nice people the whole time I was here. They would rent out these apartments to workers that needed a crash pad. And that was the one right next to me when you come out the front door to the right. Real nice family to the left lived here the whole time. A mom with her kids. The crash pad to the right. Nice guys, but you know, get a bunch of 25-year-olds in there and they're drinking and making noise. They were never a problem. And on the end was some, I don't even know what to call it. It was an apartment that they would let patients use that came to this area for treatment. And I never knew what the specifics were, but visiting nurses were always going there. And then this is where we got our mail up here. The pool was a mess. The pool area was had like chunks taken out of the bottom. The hot tub they called a cold spa since it couldn't produce hot water. But it has been 6 years, almost 6 years, since I moved out of here, and this area has grown so much. Jamie Macon, what happens when two black cats cross my path? They didn't cross it, but there they are, and there's a big old buzzer on top. These homes weren't here 6 years ago. They had just cleared the land when I stopped coming here. So I don't know what this is. Fox Landing. So they're all new. And major things have happened to this area since I first moved here. Portland has gotten so much bigger. We've driven through the main drag about 2 miles straight ahead where it's every chain you can think of, the restaurants and the H-E-B, the Walmart. They're adding a Target store up there. There's a, what's the sporting goods store? Academy? Yeah. You can see they're adding a housing development right here. That was a farmer's field. This street wasn't here. And this area is booming. It's just across the causeway from Corpus Christi. And they've added some big companies to this area. And big companies need a lot of employees. And a lot of employees need places to live. But Portland has certainly been receiving the benefit of that, if you like growth. There's 2 play parks here for kids that I can think of that have like splash pads. It's like a free water park, you know. Very nice. The high school here, I want to say it has AstroTurf, but that's not what it is now. But you know, artificial carpeting instead of grass. You can see in the distance, that's Taft, Texas over there. There's a lot of wind turbines. If you go the other way coming out of my apartments, you're in an open field. You're in open fields for miles and miles with little farm to market roads that are barely roads. We've got some beautiful Texas skies today. If you're new to the channel, you heard me mention living in my truck. I've lived in my truck for coming up on 4 years. I have a F-150 with a Lear topper. When Harvey hit, we did lose water, we did lose our power, but no structural damage. And that was a blessing because a lot of my friends' homes in Rockport were unusable, so we had quite a few people staying with me. And you know how I love people. But I had my buddy Mark and his kids, and other people came and went. Pastor Andy from Coastal Oaks Church. There's a big church right there. So there's the field on the right, the high school field. And then all on the left here, it's a Gregory Portland High School. Zoom in just a little. But you can see, wait till we get to the front of the school. It's a massive facility. This is Wildcat Drive right here, and the name changes. I forget the number. I'm going to have to look it up. But all that is a high school. That's not a college campus. Now, I hadn't been down this road in quite a while, and I did drive it coming here. This was a little 2-lane, 1 lane each way, backcountry road. A shortcut when you wanted to get over to Taft. Zoom in a little, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, this Coast Life Credit Union building here on the left, that's brand new. There's a Grace Point Church coming up after that. That's probably 3 years old, 4 years old, but that wasn't there when I first moved here. I mean, this was just a little bumpkin road. Grace Point Church right there on the left. And past that, there's a Exxon facility that is probably still being built. When I was driving for Uber and Lyft, I was constantly bringing people back and forth. From the airport to here or the hotels. There's an old storage unit. So many of the storage units here have, I want to call them circus animals, like plastic animals. That one had a horse and something else, but there's like 8 or 10 facilities just here in Portland, and every single one of them has a cigar store Indian or a gorilla, or, you know, there's just something. There's that facility way back there. And you should have, in some of my earlier videos, I've gotten them bringing in the modules coming in for that are like 12 stories high, literally 12 stories high, and they have them on wheels, and they're being controlled by a remote control the size of a video game controller. They built a 3-lane road all the way to the water to bring the modules in here. They've even added some new roads up here. There you go. There's a gorilla and a bear right there at that storage facility. So this is the road right here that I would take people to and drop them off at the office. You can see that building up there on the left. That's where I would always drop them off. But all that is new since I started moving here, or I started living here. Right up here, this crossroad is brand new. And I do want to show you something right here if I can. Notice there's no wires going this way or this way. That's so they can bring in those big units. Gulf Coast Growth Ventures, an ExxonMobil joint venture with some initials that I never heard of. But yeah, and like why does this field on the right, the whole right hand side has had fencing along it, which I don't know. I just find that bizarre. And they installed the sidewalks here on the right, and they were on the left until we got to the facility. So I think Portland put in the sidewalks, and this is probably Gregory right here, or it could even be Taft. It's right on that right on the border kind of. But that plant brought a lot of jobs here. And it goes back, I don't know how far it goes if we make a left and ride alongside it, but it goes a long way. I'm going to make the right up here and go into Gregory and use that to get back to the highway. Train tracks that actual trains run on, which is always nice. It's a nice little bonus. I haven't been over here in years. A lot of wind turbines in this area. One wind turbine says to the other wind turbine, "What's your favorite music?" Wind turbine says, "I don't know, but I'm kind of a huge metal fan." Hold on. There you go. Got it in. A lot of people would have stuff ready before they start doing a video. Not me. I prefer to wing it. I just wanted to show you that facility, guys. These are the same train tracks that we crossed back there that'll go all the way to the Rockport terminal, where we saw the trains in Rockport that they've added recently. There's the tracks right there. Dual set of tracks, dual set of park trains. And there's a little rail terminal up here. And we'll be coming into Gregory, where we have filmed plenty of times. That building up here always has the bunch of different old cars right out front, going 35 and a 35. We're good. We're good. There's an engine right there. What in the name of Jamie Macon is going on up here, guys? Woo-hoo. That's pretty cool. We're going to get that on the way out. But I don't see a whole lot of cars. I do see a really cool truck right there. Yeah, there's only a couple cars there today. Sometimes the lot's full when we come by here. And we got a Union Pacific, Jamie, Union Pacific 2212. Oh, it's making train noises. Oh, it's running. Ooh. Union Pacific 1804. Alright, guys. Trains, planes, and automobiles. Thanks for riding along today, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching.